Really, I think right now what's so great is that now you can go out and get the DVD, download on iTunes, without the commercials, you can watch it back to back, right? And then you can see it all together and you really see things you didn't see. You know, now it all fits together and you can see how it is in context. And I think it's one of those shows that you will be able to watch over and over and over again. And every time you see it, you'll get more out of it. You know, I can't wait to sit down. I just started watching it again, so I'm looking forward to it.
I've had so many people approach me today and tell me that they're on their second or third time of viewing it, and said some really intelligent things about it. One guy was like, he's like, honestly, it is. I'm on my third time. I'm watching the Blu-ray. It's amazing, and it's so much better. And I'm seeing so many things I never saw before. And he goes, I'm a true fan. Like, I love that show. So that, you know, just to add to that.
I remember when we all read the final episode, and I remember we were all talking about how we were looking forward to being able to watch Battlestar Galactica, knowing the ending, knowing the context, knowing the history, and then going back and starting over. And that's brilliant writing, because it's not dependent upon a surprise. It's not dependent upon protection of spoilers. It's actually deeper, better, and more interesting once it's a classic. That's the definition of a classic. You know the story, but you go back and it gets deeper and richer every time. And I think that's what we're all a part of right now with this.
I have to say one thing. I didn't mean to cut off the applause. Because it is, the record was 8 hours, 8 days to see the entire show. That was the record until this afternoon. A young woman comes up to me and she said today, with all honesty and all truth, and I don't know if she's in the audience, but she said today.
Yes, she is. She's back there.
Are you back here?
Yeah, I remember her.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see the woman right now that holds the record for watching Battlestar. She did it all the seasons, she did it in 4 days. Congratulations to you.
We have time for one last quick question.
I am lucky, I'm so sorry. I'm lucky to be like Battlestar baby, and then as a Battlestar adult baby, to see both of them. And I wanted to know, and this is for Edward, Lauren Green was so regal, so pristine, whether or not he got angry or he had to be stern, he was always just white gloved. Where Adama on the new one, I liked what she did with him. He was more emotional. He went to the dark side per se. I wanted to know what did you do? What did you reach in to go to that level or to that side instead of being a copy of what Lauren Green did?
Well, I think that the writing kind of allowed me to go where we went. Again, we go back to the writing, everybody. And it is, if you're writers out there, man, you're the most important aspect of this industry. And I gotta tell you, the development of a character and the way you portray a character and the choices that you make are really a substance of your art form. And these are the choices I made. And Lauren, who I adore, and I thought, you know, in my lifetime, he was a brilliant character in life and in film. Bigger in film than he could ever be even in life. But I will say that the reality that we brought with Battlestar Galactica, the re-imaging, and I have to thank Glenn Washington for creating the piece in the first place, because I think he deserves a huge amount of respect and admiration. And only to say to you that what was allowed for us to do is something that is very rarely done. And it triggered something in us that is much stronger than just a television show or an escape valve. It really caught all of us. And when we were doing it, we knew at the moment that we read the first pages of the writing to give you the intro, the prelogue for the entire show, the first 3 pages, which are now have become probably the most classic 3 pages of script ever written, because it set the tone. And I will tell you this, when I created, because I really created Adama in the way I felt that it would be strong enough to sustain this really incredibly difficult A story of the total annihilation of the human species. And I can tell you this, when I did the So Say We All speech, we never turned back from that moment. And that was the very first thing we shot. We had shot a little bit with Six and Baltar, and they had done a few scenes in the morning. But by noon, when we broke for lunch, the very first thing we did was this scene in which we did the So Say We All speech. And nobody knew what was going to happen. They were there to listen, and they all knew one thing, that we had been annihilated and that we had no longer anything left. There was nothing left. Everything that you knew was gone. And the only thing that was what we're doing right in here. We're all connected by the fact that we're the only ones left alive. And so when I started the journey, I said to myself, this is a real difficult journey we're about to enter into. So every time, 33 was brilliant. To this day, when we hit 33, I threw my hands up in the air and I said, holy mackerel. I said, I can't believe you're doing this, that this is really going to happen. And in this way, when we finished the miniseries and we went to the very first episode, that first episode devastated everybody. There wasn't one person walking around the set that could honestly pick up their head or look for any kind of hope. It was over. And I remember every 33 minutes, we were getting killed. I mean, we were just getting wiped out and we couldn't stop it. And it had gone on for 5 days. And when we ended the story, it was the beginning of the 5th day. And we hadn't slept in 5 days. And I brought in, remember I brought in the head of psychotherapy from the university for sleep deprivation. We needed to know. I said, I need this guy here. So I brought him in for the whole crew of the cast. I mean, and we had him at the cast reading, and he told us what we would experience if we had done this, if this had happened. So everybody went there. Everybody knew what we had to do. So from that moment on, the realities just got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So by the time we hit the end or the middle of this whole journey, my character had gone from being a very strong character to just like completely cracking and then starting the slow descent downward and became a drug addict and an alcoholic. And he completely lost it. Now, I don't think that most people really want to make that kind of character out of their, their hero, But I think that that's what made the show real. And in turn, I got more people from the military, especially captains and colonels and admirals, who said, I really want to thank you. Because I don't think I've ever seen anybody allow what the pressure is of war and the pressure of trying to command and sending people out to their death every single day. And they're not going to come back. And they're your kids, send them out, and not take it, by the end of that, you're like babbling idiot walking into the side of a wall. And at the same time, you have to be so fucking strong that you have to be able to sustain and control yourself and get up in the morning and walk down the hall. And all that, I said to me, I said, man, this is it. I said, this is the role of a lifetime. I don't think I'll ever be able to create something of this magnitude again. And I told us, everybody on the set, both the writers, all the producers, everybody around, I said, this has never happened to me before. It will never happen again. That was it.
Real quick, I just want to say, you don't know